Hello, good morning everybody. It is January 19th. Thank you for joining me live on the stream. It is Friday. It is a nice, not a warm day, obviously, here in Canada. It's a cold day, but the sun is out, which is nice. This rare alien object that appears in the sky once every 2 or 3 weeks in Canada. Interesting little fella. Glad it's out. I'm sure a lot of people are happy after weeks of overcast. So there is that. Life in the north, the very northern part of the hemisphere. Okay, let's get some life drawing. I'm glad to see some activity on Discord. Thanks everybody for giving me their critiques and posting their artworks and their renditions of it. It's always humbling to know quite a few of my viewers I consider are better drawers than me, and I'm kind of getting free lessons out of it. So thanks to Rex and a few others here. I'm gonna pull up Discord right now. Sorry about that. Before we get started, so we have a couple of users posting great artwork up on the Discord. I'm guilty. I haven't been consistent, but it's nice to see. Yeah, Rex. I wonder why the names are kind of. Let's see here. Rex Japan, Zosi, Luffy. Luffy comes and goes as they please, but it's always nice to see Luffy back. They did one with a little bit of shading, which I was very impressed by. So, Lutfius, however we pronounce it. Thanks for uploading your artwork. Same with Zosi. Zosi put up some diagrams there too, so it's great to see how other people interpret the same artwork. Okay, there's quite a bit of talking for me to start. Let us begin. We're gonna do some warm-ups. Don't be too hard on yourself, and then that'll be followed by the more detailed poses. I'm, as always, in a perpetual state of learning and experimenting with brushes, and I'm starting to do shading now, which is nice. After a couple of months of just doing line work, baby steps. Like I said, I'm not in a rush, so let us begin. I am recording for our YouTube viewers who can watch at their own convenience. Technically you can watch on Twitch too, but I believe Twitch removes the video after like 90 days or something. So let's start. Timer has begun. Good luck everybody else. Good luck everybody else. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, good luck. Let's begin. Like I said, these are quick 2-minute poses. I really don't know what I can achieve with them in 2 minutes, but let's see. Little curvature here of the hip. That's nice. We're down to 1 minute. I'm making very hard lines when I should be making nice flowy lines like this. Yeah, see that? A curvy line is what I should be a little more aware about. It's always nice to see users from months ago in my infancy of drawing come back to the stream. I mean, it's way off center, but 20 seconds left. I start off so rigid and stiff in the morning, so it's nice to see I've kind of 2 minutes. Sometimes I surprise myself what I can achieve in 2 minutes. Not a lot of time. Not a lot of time. Ooh, this is very difficult. Sorry folks to throw this on you so early in the morning. See if I can pull this off. Ugh. I think I might be able to pull this off. Okay, looks like I'm gonna be able to pull this off. I'm not happy because I'm making these hard lines. See these hard straight lines? I have to override my brain here that naturally wants to do that and put in some nice curvature. Center it, X, center it. Okay, we got 10 seconds. Look at this. I thought this pose was going to be too complex for me to render, but I think I did it. Very nice. I obviously didn't get the hair, but not bad. Look at that. Coming in cold, I still managed to pull something off. Okay. I'm working with shapes. I know this. I've been doing this for a couple of months, so I know that. What I'm really hard on myself is just trying to get these beautiful curved lines that convey a lot of information. Almost like a minimalist concept. Not easy though. A lot of information on this pose, probably more than the crouching one below. So, let's see. I seem to, I'm getting the poses right, but I can't seem to put it on canvas in an appropriate manner. So. Like, sometimes I feel like I just need to slow down. I'm just trying too much at once here. Hmm. 4 seconds. I started late on this one, so I'm not going to be too hard on myself there. And I'm probably going to start late on this one. Let's just center that. Okay. God, 2 minutes goes so fast. Whose idea was this? Oh yeah, mine. I kind of like the way I just rendered that back of the head there. I don't use this model enough, I feel. I probably should bring him out more often. we're seeing the back of the arm, and this is one thing I'm well aware of, that I'm very weak in terms of proportion. Let's see if I get it right. This is coming out a little awkward. Only got 2 minutes left. 30 seconds left. Oof. I really started late on this one. It's okay. Hopefully folks fared off better than me. Oh, I really wanted to finish it, but I'm not gonna be able to. And I don't wanna rush it either. Okay. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. What am I doing? Where am I? I lost myself. Right? Am I in the right place here? I think so. That arm is a very tricky line, especially if you want to do it in one stroke like that. Oh, that's rough. About to hit the 30-second mark, folks. Oops, sorry about that. 15 seconds. Okay, not bad. First 10-minute pose of the day. Once again, it's been a while since I've used this model. The 10-minute poses, I almost put them in the same category as the 2-minute poses. I'm not going to be too hard on myself here. I'm just in the warm-up phase. Let's see if we can fix some of this. Sorry, I'm focusing on the jaw work there. It's actually pretty nice. Yeah, leave it at that. That's ugly, but leave it at that. Getting that back curve of the skull very hard. Sorry about that, folks. Still got a bit of a lingering cold I'm trying to shake off. That's okay. We got 7 minutes, and I'm really taking my time here, aren't I? Might have fudged up the proportions here a bit. Let's see if we can bring this together. For starters, just for the details, I feel my brush is too big. Let's bring it down just a tad. Yeah. Now the question is, how do I get that nice curvature in the back of her little crop top there? Ooh, that's gonna be tough. Let's see if we can slow down and pull this off. Okay, we'll have to leave it with that. Something is definitely up here. I feel like I'm spending way too much time on top here. Whoa. Okay, we definitely need to slow down. That's for sure. Let's try it again. And definitely a flow I've lost compared to the last 2 gestures. Maybe like that. It is an awkward pose. I'm not gonna lie, it's an awkward pose. I'm at the halfway mark and I feel a little has been achieved. Let's try that. Fine enough brush for me to really nail down the fingers, so we'll leave it at that. And I shouldn't be doing the fingers until we get the rest of the pose ready, so let's move on. This is where things get tricky with that leg. Down to 3 minutes. Not an easy pose to tackle, as you can probably tell by now. But, don't shy away from some difficulty. There's definitely... Okay. It's nice it's finally coming together, I'll be honest with you folks. The pose does kind of need to be stretched out across the canvas. Man, the line work here has to be impeccable. I'm just not feeling this stroke here. Down to a minute 30. Down to a minute 30, folks. Last call. Okay, I think I got it. The legs do feel a little short. Yeah. What I'll do is I'll just render the leg here and then stretch it out digitally. But they do feel short. Nevertheless, a good challenge for the morning, right? Yeah, this is rough. Oh, yeah, that was rough. Tough pose. And followed by another tough pose. I'm gonna try a bit of a more holistic approach, and we'll see if that makes things better, right? Let's try. Just gonna take my time here. Probably like, what the hex is Hex doing? Let's see. I'm actually starting at the torso. I usually start at the top, as if you're familiar with my streams. And I usually start at the bottom. Either or, but I'm gonna start right at the dead center. Throw my brain a curveball. Do you kind of see it coming together now, folks? Yeah, I hope so. I don't. Okay. Ooh. No, no, no.
You should go now. Run.
I just feel that line work is shoddy.
I won't leave you here. We can run together. Listen, if we run together, they will shoot us from behind. We both die. So
I think this was a dangerous experiment,
no, don't worry about me. I will hold them.
but it worked out.
Promise me to survive, to take this message for our country.
A very dangerous experiment. Don't try it at home, kids. Oof. To kind of just start from the torso and kind of not know which direction you're going. That was a little ambitious. I kind of screwed up the leg. I'm gonna fix that right, you know. Also, with this experiment, I'm really unsure how the rest of the proportions are gonna work out, but we'll see. What am I doing here? Okay. Oh, no, no, no. The issue now is the bust. There's so many odd curves here. Not happy with that at all, but it's okay. Once again, I'm having this battle with myself. It's just like, slow down, render it, and then we'll take it from there. Okay. I think we're making some headway here. We're 5 minutes in, and I've actually... I feel like I'm a little ahead of schedule here. Enough time for me to kind of get in some fingers. And I initially drew that arm curved up way too much. Way too much. There we go.
Where am I? It's just so beautiful.
I definitely had to reposition that arm. So mistake number one.
Yes.
And we'll just leave it like this, and I'll come back to it because I want to do the head. There's a lot of dynamics going here, a lot of foreshortening and whatnot, so. This is not easy mode. The shape, the odd shape of the fingers. I mean, oof. What do you think, folks? I think it came together surprisingly Recognizable. That dead expression on her face is kind of a little freaky. Oh, that chin. Once again, I really struggle with those chin, the curvature of the chin at the bottom. What's so difficult? Okay, I think I actually got it. Good. This is better than usual. Usual, it's a dumpster fire, but I got 2 minutes left. I am quite happy with this. It's such a difficult pose, but I pulled it off. Okay. Gonna kind of pat myself on the back a little bit here. With a minute left, so if you manage to render this pose in the 10 minutes, good for you folks. Just tossing a little bit of shading in there. That leg, that left leg, now I'm looking at it, probably needs to be resized just a tad, but nevertheless. For the 10-minute poses, if I can get any kind of shading in, I'm quite happy. And some. There we go. Okay. I believe. Did we do 3 10-minute poses? 1, 2. Yep. Okay. So the third 10-minute pose. Let's do this. This is really awkward. Oh my god. Oh man, what am I gonna do here? Okay. I don't think it's been a while since we've done a pose that's like a bird's eye view. Ooh. I don't know if my brain's ready to handle this. Sorry folks, I'm just gonna use the year as a benchmark here to help me. Just, I'm not rushing into it, I'm just thinking how I'm gonna approach this, that's all. I think once you have the foundation of that main torso, it should be straightforward to connect everything. If the angle's awkward, I think our brain is just not used to this. Let's see if we can pull it off. length might be a little too long there. That's okay. The angle I'm coming at is just way too stiff. Like I said, just taking my time here. Trying to get the posture right. Coming together, it does feel awkward, but it's coming together. I shouldn't have done that, but it's okay to add some depth to the pose. Okay, let's try that again. Really using the biceps and the deltoids here to kind of map out that arm. Man, that arm feels bloated. There we go. Let's try that again. This is definitely throwing me for a curveball, I'll be the first to admit. Kinda. No doubt I am struggling with this. There we go. But I think I can get it together, hopefully, shortly. Line work leaves much to be desired, but I'm gonna just leave it at that. What are we at? We're at 2 minutes. You know, I think we need to put up more poses like this because this one really challenged me. And I kind of like it. I mean, I didn't even touch any kind of basic shading for this one. A very awkward pose, isn't it? Bring this down a bit. Too many lines here. Too many lines. Bring it back down to shapes. There we go. 40 seconds. Oof. I was probably a little confused on how to begin. Sorry, hit the mic there. Confused on how to begin, but I'm happy I kind of got the flow together after that. I thought I'd be just stuck at the upper torso, but the head needs to kind of come a little larger like that. But... okay. A bit of a sweat there. Okay. Nice. Which perfectly transitions to our 20-minute pose. I have a little coffee here, and I'll join you guys in a sec. Okay, we're back. Where and how to begin? I am going to start with the head. Tried and true. Once again, a figure where she's very stretched out, so. Oof. Why did I do that? Let's do this. See if I can convert that into anything. I'm really starting off on the wrong foot here. Let's try this again. if we can. So let's see if I can connect all this. Where are we? Struggle is real here. Okay. Let's see if we can just get some nice lines for the top of that thigh downward. Just a very subtle curvature here for the leg. I said subtle, look at that line. There's an odd flow here, folks, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna have to expand that torso a bit. Or shrink the leg. Which one? A little. Okay. Lost my brush there for a second. This pose is coming out very clunky for me, and I'm not happy with it. emotion. I'm trying to capture that emotion here. What's up, Clindian? The cool cat emoji. Good to... Welcome, welcome. I believe you're a new face around here. Hopefully you're here to learn to draw with me, right? Ooh, that's ugly. Yeah, come on now. Get your together. Okay. This pose has a nice flow to it. I just can't seem to get it. Oop, 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 oop. But I have not given up on it. This is the good thing about the 20-minute pose. I have not given up on it. Without a doubt. You can tell like the line work and the proportions and everything's off. It's really these extended poses that throw me off. Yeah, this is really rough. I'm gonna try and break it down into more simple lines and see if that helps, but I don't see that happening. It's just an awkward pose and I have to deal with it. There's a nice twist which I am not getting, and I think I'm gonna have to figure out why not. Really want to capture that twist. We're gonna come back to the head, because I feel it's not right. Envelope technique. This is new to me. Envelope technique. Yes, I will YouTube it as soon as we finish here. It is a twisty pose. The question is how to, you know, get that render so it looks twisty. And I'm sure shading and stuff has a lot to do with it, which we're not at that part yet. Also, I think once I put down too many lines, it's over with in terms of making it look nice. It's slowly coming together. Slowly, but there's so many lines I've put down at this point, it just looks shady. But I got time to salvage it. Can't win them all. Can't win them all. Whoa, this was rough. I'm just in... Ooh, here we go. I'm in damage control mode here. Let's see if we can... Try this again. If I can get one good arm out of this, I'll be happy. Man. Yeah, this is rough. Too many lines. I've kind of lost the flow of the pose. I don't know if I'll get it back. I'll be the first to admit it is an awkward pose. Down to 2 minutes. I think there's no going back here. I think I could have easily spent a couple of hours on this pose. Oof. proportions are a little off. Let's try that. Yeah, this one definitely fell apart. I think once you get too many lines down, it just ends up becoming this skeletal mess. Anyways, I'll call it there. You win some, you lose some. Ew, okay. Next 20-minute pose. That was a little demoralizing, but let's not give up. I just noticed some part of the photo here is blurred. I will take my time with this one and let's see if we can do a little better and get a little bit of the flow here. Let's see if we can capture that. Interesting. I just want to get that torso. I feel there's a nice energy there. The question is if I can pull it off. There we go. Back is going to be a little tricky, but I think it's going to make or break the pose here if I don't get it right. Last pose phased me so much that I'm very hesitant to put some lines down here. Okay, it's coming together. I'm taking my time here this time. Or put any lines down. Okay. Okay. Hopefully you folks are hanging in there with me after that last pose. The pressure's on to redeem myself. This individual, he's got beautiful facial expressions. great to look at and study, but man, one hell of a difficulty to draw. There's a lot going on here. Let's see if that works. Not really. I think I need to come at it a little there. Really trying to connect that upper bicep, that shoulder muscle, back muscle, sorry, into the head. I can really capture that. I think I'm getting somewhere here. I really don't want to get bogged down by the head and just finish the body and then come back to the head. If that makes sense. Really just taking my time with that shoulder muscle. Okay. I'm gonna live with that. I'm 100% gonna live with that. And just walk away for now. Walk away before I ruin it. There we go. That comes like that. Really, should I do the facial details? We'll come back. I think I'm gonna come back to it. Something does feel off, but it's okay. Let's finish the rest of the body here. Okay, I see what's wrong already. What's that? Like I said, I'm kinda just taking my time here with this one. Not gonna rush into it. Okay, we're at the 10-minute mark. Okay. Interesting. It actually looks like a human being. Good, good, good. I'm definitely gonna have to adjust the back just a bit here. There we go. Doesn't feel right here. Let's see what's going on. Maybe just a tad of a curvature. There we go. Maybe it needs to come down harder. Let's see. I know that's there. That. Yeah, more like that. Right? Gotta name that angle, that thigh, correctly. And the rest of the pose should come together. What is happening here? Come on. Where are we? Once again, I have to be careful here because when I put down too many lines, that's it. It gets really shaky. I think we did it. That's it. I think we did it. There we go. What do you folks think? A little better this time, right? I'm gonna do some fixing here because I believe I'm not doing a good job of capturing the gut. Let's see if I can fix that. And I believe this leg might be just a tad bigger. Let's see if we can. Just a tad bigger. What do you think? A little better? I want to capture that gut, but it's gonna be tricky. It's such a... What do you think? That gut area is a little tricky. It's throwing me off a bit. not going to do the face. We only got 4 minutes, and I feel if I try to attempt the facial details, yeah, shit's gonna blow up right into. Whoop! Sorry about the language, but it's gonna blow up right in my face here. So I'm not gonna do it. Whoops, I went a little too dark there. We're at a minute. Down to a minute. All aboard. Okay. I didn't capture his chubbiness, if that makes sense. He seems a little slim and muscular here, but I did capture a bit of the energy of the pose. I mean, look at this, and look at this. Look at this. And then look at this. That's made by the same person in a span of 20 minutes. Jesus. Okay. I don't know what to tell you, folks. I guess that's what they call flow. Sometimes you have it, and sometimes you don't. Look at that. Big difference. Okay. Last pose of the day. 30 minutes. Hopefully I can come up with something like this. Let's see. This one really shook me today. I should have done way better. Maybe I'm being too hard on myself, but not happy with this at all. And then I go and do something like this and it looks reasonably well. And brings me back to some confidence. It's weird how art is like that. You draw a painting, it shatters your confidence, and it makes you question your existence, and then you pump out something decent, and you're like, oh, okay, this is why I draw. You know? Okay. Let's continue, folks. This is once again a tricky pose, and this is the same model as the one who caught me off guard. So, it's time to redeem myself. And I got an extra 10 minutes to do it, so let's do this. And I'm gonna start with some bigger shapes here. I'm definitely not gonna approach it the same way I did before. No way, Jose. As they say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I have to believe that. Once again, a very dynamic pose. I'm really trying to get that twist in there. I'm gonna look up the envelope technique, definitely. I think I have an idea of what it is. I've watched so many YouTube videos on art, but thank you, Tasty. I'm gonna take a look at it and study it. I mean, I'm still learning basic shapes here. There's just so much to learn, you know? By the time you get to Loomis and Hampton and Bridgman, and it can be all overwhelming. And then you're learning about lighting. It's a lot for the brain to maybe I'm just an idiot, but I think it's a lot to take on. You can tell I'm just making more organic lines here in the hopes it comes out looking a little more stylistic. What am I doing here? Okay. My brush is acting very wonky, and I forgot to set the default. Well, there's two things I do want to experiment with. I'm not going to get time this weekend, but I've noticed a couple of the artists' work I really like use airbrush and mixer brush. And I think they have a really firm understanding on how those two brushes work. That's once I get into color and everything. But it's supposed to really help with smooth skin tones and yeah.
How's about you here? They will kill you. No, don't worry about me.
I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on with the soundtrack because talking can be a little distracting. There we go. Sorry, yeah, they use mixer brushes and air brushes, which I don't know what the equivalent is on Procreate, but they do some incredible, I mean really incredible work with just pinning down skin tones. It's not about what they achieve with it. I mean, they achieve some great realism, but it's just the speed they do it with. And obviously, if you want to be a professional in this business, you kind of have to work fast for the client. I think speed is just as important. If anything, I think studios are looking for speed over quality. right? In the world we live in. I think that's why a lot of people do, what do they call it, like photo bashing and stuff. Oh, come on now. Brush, what are we doing here? Got eraser on. There we go. I feel this. Not happy with the flow of this leg. Let's try that. See this energy and flow I'm trying to get? I forgot his name, Michael Tyus. He talks about directional flow. And it can really help with the pose, and you can kind of see it is helping me a bit. I shouldn't be going upward with my strokes. I should be just continuing downward here. Force, drawing with force, that's it. His videos are great. Look up Matthias. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing his name wrong. Okay. A little more energy, a little more character, a little more life here, right? Then that's different. Chicken scratch I did before. The question is if I can continue it. I don't know if Tasty's here, still here. Tasty, what do you think? A little better with the twisting this time? Am I capturing that twisty energy? I hope so. It's amazing how just simple line work can dynamically change a pose. Don't want to get too confident yet. This could all blow up in my face.
Just so beautiful. I am in heaven. Yes.
I'm gonna just reduce the brush size a bit because I've zoomed out. Oh, that was bad. Here we go again. Okay, slow down, slow down, slow down. I'm making a lot of mistakes here, so I'm gonna try and slow things down here. Yo, folks managed to render that gun in. Good for you. I don't think I'm going to, but even with a 30-minute pose, I find myself it'll probably be a difficult endeavor. I definitely foresee some problems here now. There's a lot of information with those fingers, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to capture that. Okay. I'll take it. I'll take what I can get. There's a slight curve of the elbow, a little tricky to get. You probably have to zoom in a lot to really okay. She's definitely coming together. With a little bit of exciting energy, no doubt. I do believe. Still got some work to do here. Let's see if we can fix that. Muscular on this end. His leg actually doesn't feel right. Let's do something here. Maybe right there. This is tricky because it's kind of floating in the middle of nowhere. And it's hard to pinpoint a reference to it. We'll have to come back to it. But it feels like it definitely needs to be a little bigger. Okay, we're at the halfway mark, folks. And we have another gun. It's gonna come in my way. This is gonna be tricky. Let's see if this arm connects naturally with the shoulder here. Which it might. be very conservative with the line work here for the head, as it's likely gonna make or break my pose. Sorry, there's gonna be quite a lot of concentration here involved to get that skull shape correct. Get this really done right. Also, that bicep seems very unnatural. Almost like it's armor. So I'm gonna fix that. Just the angle of it is wrong. There we go. We're down to the last 10 minutes. So, like I said, I don't think I'll get the gun in there. I want to render the gun, but I just don't see it happening. I kind of render the gun as I say that. Okay. I really want to get the head in here, but I'm kind of very nervous that I'm going to screw it up. Just very subtle line work gonna be involved here. using a very light brush, and then I'll come back to it once I'm confident. Maybe too light of a brush, I don't know. Skulls always throw me off. The head. I got it. That's rough, but I think I got it. Definitely some... I mean, if you're doing a long form illustration, I think there's definitely some investment spent in zooming out. The right direction here. Let's try that again. There's definitely a direction to the hair I'm trying to capture, but I'm just kind of screwed it up. Try though. Let's see if we can. Okay. We're making progress. We're down to 5 minutes. So, do what you gotta do, folks. I don't think I'm gonna get into any kind of shading or anything at this point. I might. I just want to get a basic facial expression in there. So let's try and do that. Without screwing this up entirely. I already feel like the line work of it makes her face look a little bony. I'm gonna try. I really shouldn't because I've designated streams for portrait drawing, but this will have to do. Just a tad. There we go. get into poses like this, it really comes down to how far do you want to zoom out to really capture the pose. Oof. Down to a minute. I don't want to spend too much time here. I was hoping to get some body shading in because we've had 30 minutes, but it doesn't look like that's gonna happen. And I don't want to get too much into the face because I do portrait drawing sessions where I'm focusing on the face itself. Just a little bigger, I think. A bit smaller. I could be here all day with this. Enough. Enough is enough. Okay. I mean, there's a lot involved to get it to look like her, but I could be here all day, like I said. Okay, folks, that's it. Didn't turn out too bad. I was kind of phased, as you know, from a portrait, from one of the line drawings, this one, which I'm still disappointed with and is seared into my brain. But recovered well with this one. I feel I got a bit of the pose there. That was nice. And if I had done some shading and whatnot, I think I could have captured a bit of the energy of this pose. So I would love to see everybody get their images up on Discord. Thanks for joining me. I am busy Monday, so there won't be a portrait drawing session, but I'll be back Wednesday morning. Have a great weekend, everybody. You know, I really didn't want to get up and draw today. I had a long night, but no excuses. This is part of being an artist, is getting up there and drawing, and that's why I stream 3 times a week. Really push the amount of hours I can get in between school and work. So thanks for joining me on the journey. Hopefully you learned, hopefully you tested yourself, hopefully you walked away with a couple of lessons and you internalized some anatomy and gesture. Thanks for watching once again. Please do check out the information on my About Twitch page and the About YouTube page if you want to know about scheduling and when I'll be back. And it'll also have the Discord information on there.